Yeah, it doesn't look like this is recording webcam, and I gotta figure that part out. I'm not sure if this thing does it. What's up, everybody? I just installed this new screen capturing software, and I'm experimenting with it. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but hey, we gotta experiment, right? Just trying to upgrade my situation a little bit because I'm definitely going to be doing record a lot more videos for my YouTube channel. Yeah, so where am I here? It's now, what is it, 7, it's 8 o'clock here. I'm broadcasting from Russia, recording from Russia, here for a couple more days. Then I'm headed back to Beijing, maybe home to North America, or I got to make one more stop, South Korea. But we'll see how that goes. Man, never ends. But I'm putting an end to all this crap right now. I've had enough of it. It's been years. The last 5 years has been a little whirlwind, but it's been fine. But anyway, so Bitcoin today, 16,749. Pretty cool. The last week we've seen Bitcoin run up to crazy numbers. I guess because of CME and a few other institutional entities moving into the space, Bitcoin has just been soaring. And there's been so much news of it in the media. Now the so-called masses are somewhat adapting. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We'll see how it goes. But I think what could be the most intimidating, I'm not sure if that's a word I need to use, but influential part of all of this is the CME coming into trade futures. I really don't know how to do that. I've never traded futures, and I really haven't been paying too much attention to the news. Um, just obviously it's not hard to miss the fact that Bitcoin has been soaring. That's been pretty cool, you know, to see all this money come into space. Look at the volume now, man. The volume is just, market cap is currently 277 billion. Wow. Just back in September, it was like 190. So we're kind of seeing some compounding, some compounding effects right now, man. This thing is just, look at the volume. 13 billion 601 million 400,000 and 16 million bitcoins in circulation. As you know, there's only 21 million bitcoins, and this is the reason why Bitcoin, for you new people who keep wondering why this thing, it's a positive inflation coin. Um, you know, it's only 21 million. It's only 21 million bitcoins, and the more it's being mined, and people are buying it on the open markets and trading it, and so there's a nice economy now. With all that type of action, an economy has been created, a Bitcoin economy within the crypto economy. um, People are using bitcoins to buy and sell things now. A lot more businesses are accepting Bitcoin, and it's being traded more. There's more of a demand for it, and there's only 21 million, and only 16,741,000 in circulation. And how many people are on the face of the earth? We got over 6 billion, 7 billion people. So you can imagine the demand with the news media now, and Wall Street moving in on Bitcoin and CME futures, and all kind of institution. Even back a few couple months ago, um, some individual, I don't even know these people from Wall Street, Jamie Dimon or something like that. I don't know dude's name. I think, that's his name, Jamie Dimon. He said some things about Bitcoin, and even and some derogatory news that we call FUD here in the space. And now his company's turned around and they're embracing Bitcoin. But people do these things, right? People do these things to help manipulate the price of the Bitcoin so that they can benefit from it. But you see these institutions coming in now, and we keep wondering, man, just how high the price of Bitcoin can go. If the demand gets any greater than what it is now, and we're anticipating that it will, we could see a $50,000 Bitcoin by June next year. It could be even quicker. That's scary. That's scary because now I'm getting now I'm getting hit up. Everybody wants to own a piece of Bitcoin. A lot of people want to own Bitcoin, and if everybody is clamoring to own a piece of Bitcoin, obviously that's what's going to be driving the demand and hence the price through the roof. So we could see a $50,000 Bitcoin by June, or even quicker. Never know. Never know. Never know. So yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing to be a part of this historical wealth transfer. You know, um, it's the biggest one in history. It's supposed to be the biggest one in history, and it's kind of nice to be a part of it. Not just from a monetary perspective, but from a historical perspective. I could say to my grandkids, hey, yeah, I well, grandkids, my kids, you know, Daddy was a part of that, man. Daddy was on the hunt back in the day. Daddy or granddaddy was on the hunt back in the day, man. When Bitcoin, I wasn't when Bitcoin sort of hit a small percentage of the masses. Not the masses, so to speak, because we're still not there yet. We're still getting there, but I consider myself somewhat still on the front line. I came in with the I guess I came in on the stage with the not when not the mining stage when it just the geeks that were mining it, but a little after that, when the altcoins started to come in play, and products were starting to be built on top of the blockchain. Back in the day, it was just a blockchain, and guys were just trading coins. Now, we have a variety of different blockchains and cryptocurrencies that are utility for those blockchains, and those blockchains being the underlying tech that gives these cryptos value. Um, it's kind of nice to be a part of that now and to see that happening and to experience that. And it's not just about the money because there's money being made out here, but as it because it's the blockchain is about value. Um, but now with more people are coming in now, but just to see this, just to be a part of this, man, just to witness this global wealth transfer and to be here helping to inform people, to pass the news on, to help people with their hesitations and information that they need, and it's just a beautiful thing because I've being a little older, I was a part of. I was there when the internet came into play back in the 90s, 94, 95. Yeah, back then I was playing ball in Israel, and I had just bought a laptop computer, man. I remember when websites were just text, and with the evolution of the web, with the evolution of the internet, so many businesses were moving from their brick and mortar status here in the real space onto the web space, and a lot of those businesses were coming in and they didn't have proper websites, and back then it was just text, man. It was just You go in like a Netscape browser, or even before then, there was like CompuServe and Prodigy. I remember CompuServe and Prodigy. I remember Prodigy was a little community. It has a little graphic interface. CompuServe was somewhat similar, but more text. These interfaces and the websites when Netscape came out, and I can't remember what was before Netscape, if Netscape was the first one, but yeah, when all these businesses were coming online, man, to take advantage of that new technology, there were so many businesses coming on online, the internet. And you pull up a Netscape browser, and all you're looking at is text. There was no graphic like we're looking at now. No animation. Now we have all this. We have animation, and we have combination of graphic and text and sniffy organization. The web just looks so much more different to what it looked back in the day. You know, but back then too, that massive transfer of businesses and wealth onto the internet made a lot of people wealthy. 16,348. Wow. Bitcoin Cash, 1,920. Ether, 686. Crazy, man. A few months ago, Ether was only, few weeks ago, Ether was only like struggling, well, fell from two, back up to three, and it's doubled in a couple of weeks. Incredible. Incredible. But yeah, back then, with the wealth transfer and all these businesses coming online, it was crazy to see all that happening. To know that you can pull up, because I appreciated that, and one of the reasons why I appreciated the web back then was because I was playing basketball in Israel at the time, and back then when you if you want to send home back then if you want to send home, if I want my mom to see me play, or I'm living in Israel, my mom is home, we're in Jamaica, and I'm living in Israel. And if I want her to see me play, short of putting her on a flight and sending her home, I gotta send a video home. And I remember we had this video service back then um, that would record our games, and we could record our games, and I would send it home. Send it home. Oh, was it UPS we were using back then? UPS and FedEx. I'm talking the '90s. So yeah, these companies were in their early. Those companies were early too. You know, but yeah, that's how I had to. Then that's how I had to get video information, so my mother can see me play. I had to send stuff in video, and you know, snail mail. I had to send mail. So that when the internet came on, man, there was so much. Everything was just moving onto the web, and back then too, people people credit cards. People wouldn't put credit card information. Once that evolution took place, people were fearful of putting their credit card information on the internet. Still are. People still are, but people have gained more trust now. Where there was so much talk of fraud and this and that and theft, and you know but that's all that's it was deregulated back then too, and these are all that happens in deregulated spaces. And that you look for fast forward to now, we're looking at 2017, with this massive, well, this space, this cryptocurrency space. There's so many new businesses coming out, on top of the blockchain. This is funny looking. On top of the blockchain, and there's this scam talk everywhere too. People love to use that term. People love to throw that term around. And then we call that FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Cast a lot of that into the marketplace. FUD, and then of course there's FOMO, fear of missing out. So this space is riddled with landmines, man. and especially in the area that I like to invest in, which is the lending platform area. A lot of the geeky guys who love the blockchain technology and what it does, and all these uh, products that are coming out on. Those are the techie guys. They love the blue chip altcoins. I I really don't own any altcoins. I'm a little more. I realizing how much more of a higher, a risky individual I am because I invest in, I invest in, yeah, I invest in lending platforms. I invest in lending platforms like BitConnect. People, a lot of people have doubts. There's been so much doubt about these lending platforms, but I kind of grew up in this area, um, for lack of a different term, a different way to explain it. I kind of grew up in this area, and gained confidence in these platforms for giving me a daily return on my money. You know, um, if I was to buy like Litecoin, um, Litecoin or Ethereum, Bitcoin, take Bitcoin out of the equation. It's in a class by itself. But you want EOS or IOTA. If I was to buy any one of those coins, I'd have to obviously purchase it, and you got guys who can day trade it, profit from the up and the down movement. I'm not that in depth. You need time, to be doing that. But I would, you buy a coin and you hold. If it's something falls, you hold it, and when it raises up in price, then you benefit. Well, because of this, because of what's happening with the CME coming into space, a lot of these altcoins are getting rich. They are. They're seeing, there's all kind of money being pumped into them. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum is now $683. Just the other day, Ethereum was just the other day Ethereum was 288 up to three, moving it to 300. Crazy. And you look at it now, man. Ethereum. You look at Bitcoin Cash came in. This came into the marketplace strong, though. I must admit, that came into the marketplace pretty strong, and it's been staying pretty strong. Bitcoin Cash. That's regarded by some as an attack on Bitcoin. Anyway, there's a lot of politics going on around this and Bitcoin. This is a bank coin. I'll never own this. I never had any interest in Ripple. A lot of people, obviously, it's a cheap coin. A lot of people buy these things up pretty cheap. I've done that with a few coins too, but Ripple has just never been an attraction for me. Um, Litecoin, I've never owned any Litecoin. I've really never. I'm looking at them. I'm saying to myself, man, I've really never owned much of these altcoins. What am I? Where am I in the space? Okay, I own Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin. I don't own Dash. I owned a little Dash before. Um, I don't own IOTA. This just had a peak itself. Um, it's yeah, it's almost $4. So a lot of people are enjoying gains from IOTA, Cardano. A lot of people are enjoying gains from that too, because that's all. See, these are like penny, what you would call penny stocks. These are like penny crypto. They get them at 5 cents, 1 cent, 2 cents, whatever, and then obviously they increase in price and make a good profit. NEM, so you look at the charts. I mean, look at the green. I mean, there's this green all over coin market cap. There's some red in there, but it's all spread out. But look at all this green, man. look at all look at this. Look at this. This is just amazing. But it's good to see. It's good to see this taking place in the space now. I own quite a bit of that BitConnect, BitConnect coin. I own quite a bit of that. It's normally it's moving along with Bitcoin. It's taking a little pullback right now, but well, actually no, it's at 373. Volume, price, man, BitConnect is just a champion coin. But anyway, Zcash. I remember when that had hit the Korean exchange a few weeks ago, a few months ago, from two something, went up to 600. And I did because I was hanging out in the room with a lot of with a lot of the traders, and someone came in and said, "Hey, Zcash is moving over to the Korean exchange, and we think it's gonna spike." And I was like, you know what? I got some bitcoins. Let me buy some Zcash. And sure enough, man, that thing went from like 200 and something dollars to, because it was moving to a bigger exchange, and the Koreans were just, it was moving to a Korean exchange, a South Korean exchange. And the minute that thing opened on the South Korean exchange, it went up to $600. Like boom. Let me see if I can find that spike I'm talking about, so you don't think I'm crazy. Let me see if I know. I'm not good with charts, but yeah, I'm talking about back there. You saw this. This was October. Yeah, that was back in October. We're in December now. That was six. It was around 608 C price, $852 US. Caught that thing. I don't know. I think I caught it. I caught it about right there. Where did I catch it? I think I caught it like, yeah, 350. And man, that thing just dip right there. But yeah, and I think I sold it off around eight something, and then yeah, it dipped back down. But I'm just rumbling with this, just mumbling on this video, ranting a little bit. I just installed not ScreenFlow. I want to get ScreenFlow. Um, I just installed a screen recording software on my laptop, so I wanted to try it out a little bit. I'm just ranting a little bit, just to test this thing out. But yeah, definitely it's pretty cool. Be using it a lot more. But anyway, guys, this is just a little rant. There's nothing major about it all. Just yeah, want to test out the software a little bit. Like, subscribe, share, comment, especially subscribe. No links are below because I'm not talking about any lending platforms, but I'll be back with the lending platforms report soon. I want to give you an update on what's going on. But like, subscribe, share, comment.